I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Head of security in Moldova doesn't play games, casually break in and unkidnap two innocent people. And what does Liam do? Fallon would know what to do. Any episode with Danny Trejo is gonna be amazing. CW's Dynasty Season 3, Episode 19, Robin Hood Rescues. We are talking all things Dynasty, and by we, I mean us three. The trio of terrificness. Maddie Pox is in the chat. What's up, Maddie?
What's up, Tehran? Oh my God. Another exciting episode. We have
I don't feel like you're
about.
excited. I don't feel like the energy level. I was like, "What's up, Maddie?" And you're like, "Yo, what's up, Tehran?"
Oh my God, Tehran! I'm so excited about this episode. You know me and Adam, so we'll get to that. So now I know he's back in his old ways. So that's why I wasn't excited the first time you asked me, but I am excited about this episode.
Well, good. And of course, Bree's holding it down behind the scenes. It's all the AfterBuzz staff is working diligently, adhering to quarantine. We're doing our best to put on these shows for all of you because we are all super fans. And of course, if you don't know me, you don't know Dynasty. My name's Tehran. I'll be hosting and paneling. Still tuning into the chat, still looking at your comments. So make sure you keep giving us those theories and telling us. A lot of you are very knowledgeable, so tell us any interesting things we may have missed as we're going to break down this episode as thus. CW's Dynasty Season 3, Episode 19, Robin Hood Rescues, International Rescue Operation, Liam and Adam, and of course, Sam stows away. Plan Z, Danny Trejo. Blake understands gravity like Einstein. Alexis has her own show. Joyce Doyle, Evan is back and out for blood. Dominique might get her own show too, quote unquote. What's up, Chase Kartoff? Cristal is crystal clear with Blake. Adam, no saint no more. Of course, our special segment, wow, the best episode, the best outfit or wardrobe in the entire episode, news and gossip, and our wonderful crystal ball of predictions. So, Maddie Potts, what were your original thoughts after watching the episode?
Well, we see the sensitive side to Blake in the end. Obviously, he's caring about the money and his business and whatever, but as that plays out, we see a sensitive side. Adam's back to his old ways, as we see at the end, which I wasn't surprised about. And I really like him as like a good character, but they got to spice it up. So obviously he's going to get back into his revenge sort of personality or vengeful personality. Culhane and Kirby, they make a good team, I think. I know they're just working together, but I feel like there might be some flirtation there still. And obviously we got Danny Trejo. Am I saying it right?
Danny Trejo.
Trejo. Sorry, I'm not Spanish.
Trejo.
I don't know how to speak Spanish, but he is such a good actor. I love him so much. When I saw him, I was like, are you kidding me? So I was excited to see that, even if it was just an imagination from Sam. That was like really cool to see. And then Evan, I didn't expect to see him ever again. And, you know, I knew from the get-go he was a little bit crazy, and now that's confirmed. So that was interesting to see. And obviously Dom gets what she deserved. So what did you think about that?
Well, I think you don't need to know Spanish to be able to say Trejo. That's his last name.
Trejo.
His first name's Danny. Secondly, I do think that the Danny Trejo aspect was extremely entertaining and fun. It was great to see Sammy be dangerous and suave, and the kick to the general's face was so outside of his character that it was perfect to his character.
Yeah.
It goes back to the concept that he states that I would have just been Rami had I not married Rich. Well, Sammy, you have a great heart and you have those street smarts to boot. When it comes down to the international aspect, it was cool to see some fun international spy, crazy stuff going on. Of course, if I was Moldovian, I'd be a little upset right now the way they portrayed my country.
I know, right? Yeah. And like, obviously they're on a green screen, but is that how Moldova actually is?
Well, there is no Moldova. There is a Moldova which is also one of these countries that's close to Romania. Basically, it's in
Yeah, yeah.
between Romania and Ukraine. Obviously, they're playing on that, and the concept of Moldovia comes up a lot. It comes up in different incantations of it
Yeah.
throughout different stories.
Yeah, I think I liked seeing that, but is that real? Like, do we think it's realistic if that actually happened, they'd be thrown in a Moldavian prison? That's what my question was the whole time. I know it's just a show, but um,
Hey, when
what
you
did you
go,
think?
when in Rome, do as the Romans. They're in a different country. You got to follow their laws. I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's fun that they keep using this Moldovia in Young Justice. They use Markovia. They love those kind of names because
Hmm.
it's like a generically specific regional name. It was fun. It was fun to see that happen. It was fun to see. It was fun to see Blake being outside of his element yet still keeping cool. I was thinking Anders was going to have some cool like Alfred type CIA MI6 moves, but he didn't. Um, Alexis and Fallon are bonding in a lot of ways. Evan is crazier than Adam. Adam being a bad person is very manipulative to me simply because I finally grasped and believed in him as a good person. And then for him to change this quickly is manipulative. But of course, it was their plan
Yeah.
all along. So good job because you had me fooled and I really bought into that storyline. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping that the Dominique not getting her own show is the end of Dominique and Vanessa. I just have no interest in that storyline.
Yeah. Well,
Only
it's good
reason
to
it
see
exists is to
Vanessa
keep
fired
Colton.
Dominique. So hopefully she goes away for a little bit and hopefully we get Monica back.
Yeah, Monica,
I
I
would like
liked.
to see that.
Cohane has a great storyline. I mean, I understand they use Dominique and Vanessa to keep Cohane around. I mean,
Hmm.
it'd be interesting to see an Adam Kirby Cohane love triangle. Who has Cohane not slept with on the show? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about Cohane has literally slept with everybody's daughter?
Everyone. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
100%.
Every person, Fallon, Monica, Vanessa,
Dominique.
uh yeah, Dominique, Alexis. Uh Cristal, no, but she's gonna be out of there because we all know what
And
happened at the
Crystal
end,
leaving,
right?
honestly, it made me go like this, like that marriage fell apart really quick. I disagree with you around reasoning. Blake's at the end, you felt like he was redeeming himself. I feel like he was just being calculated again. He showed his
Hmm.
true colors. I always say, always believe people when they show you who they really are. I was
Yeah.
hoping Adam would take the high road. He did not. So we'll see how that plays out. It's good to have Adam back, I guess.
Yeah, it
Sure,
was
it's
it
gonna be
was
a
kind
crazy
of
ride.
like we'll talk about it later, but it was kind of weird how obviously Blake came home, he didn't even realize Crystal was there, like she's in their bedroom. Like,
Well,
he didn't realize right away, but we'll get
that's
into
a
that.
sign of Blake's narcissism. And in fact,
Yeah, exactly.
well, let's start with that Blake storyline. Let's start with the international rescue operation coming off last week. Blake, who has regained control of CA after his dealings with Laura Van Kirk, is now trapped in Moldova because he was set up. Basically, he was set up
Hmm.
to have to go through the motions of having their oil and this embargo and taking the 150 million gallons of oil from them. So he was set up and he gets stuck there with Anders, thinking it was a routine business trip. He gets put in jail, and then we have to
Yeah.
rescue him. Liam and Adam are going. Cristal knows, and Sammy stows away. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I didn't really okay, so obviously I knew that they were gonna go rescue him and whatnot. I didn't expect Sammy to like somehow be hidden away on the plane. Like, what was that? I was like, did he hide in the bathroom? Like, well, they were taking off. Like, that was kind of a stretch of like a storyline to me, but I'm happy he was there because he obviously saved them. And I honestly, for the first time in the whole show, I felt bad for Adam because, yeah, he did risk his life. And
Out of
Blake was
goodness,
just,
out of goodness. He risked his life out of goodness. And
yeah,
Blake honestly was like, let's go. Like Blake was
he
the
was so
first one to
dismissive.
believe him.
Like, if that's
Exactly.
your son, yeah, if that's your son, why don't you be like, no, you go first, like going up into that the ceiling like crate thing, and he's like, okay, whatever. It just goes to show how selfish Blake is,
A
in my
hundred
opinion.
percent. 100%. And I think the only person he might have sacrifice himself for, the only person who Blake truly seems to love is Fallon.
Yeah. And we both know that he probably, I don't know if Fallon and Cristal were in between who's going to get saved first. I think he'd pick Fallon at this point. Like, I feel like
Well,
Cristal
yeah,
was right to
Cristal
walk
left
away.
him, and so I understand that.
Yeah.
However, to be fair, Cristal doesn't have a right to walk away based on that. Fallon is his child. I
Yeah.
think any parent should choose their child over anyone else in their life. Like, I feel
Yeah,
like
no,
any good
totally.
parent
But
would choose their child. So I think what it has to do with Fallon is specifically that Fallon is his legacy. Fallon is the most like Blake, or at least that's how he sees. Fallon to him is the strongest. Adam is as conniving as he is. Still, there's a naiveness there. There's a crudeness there that Fallon doesn't have. Fallon is a go-getter. Fallon is all the things that Blake is not. Fallon is. So I think Blake really actually loves and admires Fallon, but it's also a narcissistic view of it's an extension of who he is as a person.
yeah, totally.
'Cause-
I saw the sensitive side to Blake this episode, but I also, in the end, I was like, yeah, he kind of deserved it. But we'll get into that, obviously, with the
Sure, let's
Cristal
talk
and
about it now. What sensitive side do you mean?
I mean, okay, so he felt bad. Obviously, they had the fight on the private jet. Adam, kind of being upset at his father naturally. Like, I would be upset too. I'd be like, are you kidding me? Like, there's this whole turn of events, and you actually knew what you were doing, and I risked my life. And I would be pissed off. I'd be like, you know what? You're not as good of a person as you are, blah, 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 typical Blake. But then he tries to redeem himself. Obviously, with the Anders thing, with buying or making sure he's the head of that beachfront restaurant in New Zealand. And then we get, Adam with him being like, you're part of Carrington Atlantic now. But then he kind of like leaves his wife out of it until last minute. He's like, "Oh, I didn't even know she's here." And then he goes up and, tries to redeem himself, but it's like almost too late. So he does I see him tapping into his sensitive side, and I know he means well, but obviously Crystal's like sick of it. Obviously. And
Cristal is sick
she's
of it.
already yeah, and she's already slept with someone else. And I thought
Yeah,
when
she
she
keeps
said,
forgetting that. She keeps forgetting that piece of information. Even when
yeah.
Adam brings it up, she's like, "What's that supposed to mean?" It's supposed to mean that you slept with the priest. That's
I
what
thought
it
she
means.
was gonna tell him too.
Yeah,
Like
and she didn't
she had the
exactly.
chance.
Exactly. She didn't say, "Hey, this is what's going on." She basically blamed him for everything. And that's why, to me, Crystal is a hypocrite. You're
Yeah.
projecting, Crystal. You're upset because you did something wrong. And so you have to make sure that everyone else did something wrong too. Because to people who are not ready to accept responsibility, accountability will always feel like an attack.
hmm But Blake also had the opportunity last episode when they were doing the dancing rehearsal. He had the opportunity to tell Crystal as well about his affair.
I don't I still
So
not because of like Blake's a man and Crystal's a woman. I would be on Crystal's side if Crystal had slept with the priest to get ahead for her
yeah,
charity, not because she had emotional attachment and feelings. So I feel like Blake wanting to get CA back just used another, sure, morally corrupt, but still viable way to get it back. Still much better than murder, which he's also done. So, and no one's
yeah.
mad at him for that. So the concept is did something that was morally degraded, however, did it with an intention to seal the deal, to get Laura Van Kirk so he could get his company back. Crystal just slept with a priest.
What's worse though? I mean, yeah, they both
Crystal
cheated.
is worse.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it plays out. We'll get into that in predictions with that
Well, let's
whole
actually get into it
cheating.
now as we ask everyone below, which one do you think is worse? Do you think Crystal is worse or Blake? Which one was the worst cheater and why? We want to hear from you below. We love your comments, questions, your theories. You're teaching us all the time. We appreciate it. All the shares and likes and subscribes. We appreciate that as well. Please give us 5 stars if you're on iTunes because we deserve it. Thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk.
Yeah, thank you guys. We can't do this without you. Honestly, we appreciate all the comments. We need to know what you
Well,
prefer.
not all the comments. Some of the comments I can live without, but most of the comments, thank you.
Most of the comments.
99% of the comments are amazing. You 1%ers. You are the priest. You are Father Caleb.
You're the priest.
The Father Caleb of comments. Let's talk about Sam stowing away in the Danny Trejo storyline. What were your thoughts on that?
I was really surprised to see Danny Trejo's. I love him so much. I hope you like. I honestly, at the beginning, I thought he would have been like actually a character coming on, not just a hallucination. Obviously, seeing him either way is fun to me. I liked it. I thought it was fun, and I wish he was just there and he came on the private jet as like his own person. He wasn't a hallucination, so he could be throughout the whole episode. I thought it was a bit cheesy, but obviously love him, love Sam. So I was happy to see that. What do you think about him?
I
He's an
love
amazing
Danny
actor.
Trejo. Danny Trejo's amazing. He's in 1,000 movies. I'm with Sam. He's in a lot of fun movies. I've probably only seen him in 3 or 4, but they've always been fun. I appreciate Danny Trejo. It was fun to have him. I wonder who approached who. The whole time I kept thinking, how did they get Danny Trejo? Did Danny Trejo want to be on Dynasty?
It's Dynasty. He's got to go on. It's
classic. It could be. It could be. I could see that, especially people are fans of different things. So I wonder if Danny Trejo is a fan. Is like, I'd love to be in an episode. How they manage that? Because obviously it's off the beaten path. They'd have to ask somebody. They get Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo serves as Sammy's spirit animal in his rescue of, at this point, Anders, Blake, and then, of course, Liam and Adam, who had gone to rescue him, who also got captured. So Sammy was the reason they got out. Sammy, what's his skill? His skill is hospitality. It's like, I guess we're going to serve them to death. And I guess we will. And he served them to death as he rescued them through the vent, leading to Sammy should have minded his own business in the first place. I'm glad he didn't. Also, the concept of him basically stowing away also seemed ridiculous, but it was very fun. I enjoyed it.
It really played out well because obviously he knows the hotel and he's like, I sneak mistresses out in, the laundry baskets and all that stuff. So it kind of made sense. But I would have liked to see Danny Trejo as like an actual leading role in that episode and not just imagination.
But then he would have had to come back. So I understand. Unless the only way they could have probably done it is if Sammy hired Danny Trejo, thinking that Danny Trejo is really who he is. Yeah. And it turns out that he's just an actor. That could have been played that way, but it was fun.
It was fun. Yeah. I liked it. I mean, to me, nothing against Dynasty. I liked that better as opposed to doing a musical.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of all the musicals, especially since they're not even choreographed. They just seem to be doing musicals for the sake of musical. Blake saying he understands gravity like Einstein. How was Blake this entire episode? There were 2 parts. There was first half Blake in prison, and then there was Blake free. What were your thoughts on Blake?
I didn't like how he spit on the guard. I feel like that was really ruthless. Like he could have just like tried harder to be a little bit more classy. Like that's obviously going to get you punched, which happened. And we saw that. And you get to see Anders kind of shaking his head or just looking scared in the back, being like, what the hell are you doing? He could have been a lot more calm about the whole like ordeal and had like a little bit more of a backup plan. He shouldn't have spit on the guard. He shouldn't have done that. But after, he had no remorse. Like he didn't really like say like, oh my God, thank you so much for rescuing me. He kind of did it and they were having champagne on the plane. Obviously you see with Adam, but he could have said to his son, Adam, I'm so sorry for putting you in that position, blah, 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 blah. And obviously that's why Adam got upset because he just thinks all this is no big deal. Like Adam could have died and same with Sam. And all of them. So that was like crazy to me. But typical Blake, honestly.
Blake was a very, very Blake character in this episode. Clearly concerned about himself first and foremost. Not aware of anyone else. Not aware of Anders. Not aware of putting Anders in jeopardy. Doing all this for money. You're a billionaire. You don't need more money. But it's not about the money. It's about winning. And I think that's what we saw in the second part of the episode. It wasn't Blake caring, it was Blake wanting to win. He's losing Cristal, he's losing Adam, and he does whatever it takes to not lose. He does not like to lose. Clearly,
Yeah.
this would be his like 15th marriage, even though it was 3 different incarnations of Cristal and 2 or 3 Alexises. So he just doesn't like to lose. He doesn't like to
Yeah.
lose. That's who Blake is, and that's what makes Blake Blake. Do I fault Blake? No, but do I understand other people? I would also be remiss to be loyal to a person who's not loyal to me. And I don't mean infidelity, I mean as loyal as in who thinks that they are the head and that they don't need the body. The body is nothing without the head. And Blake is, yes,
Mhm.
the head, but all of these people, including Adam, including Cristal, are the body, including Anders. They are the body. They're the ones who make Blake Blake. So
Yeah.
I would be very remiss into going into a partnership with Blake because he's this ruthless and conniving and manipulative. So he showed his true colors once again. Believe
Yeah.
believe him when he explains who he really is. Uh,
I did like his partnership though with Anders, like when obviously he has the fake heart attack and then Sam kicks the guard and like they all were working together. Like
well,
I really
Anders
like
was.
seeing
Sammy
that.
showed up out of nowhere. Anders and Blake seem to have that
Yeah,
pact, the
so like I
distraction.
mean, fake heart attack on Blake's part, and then obviously Anders knocks the guys out, or the guard out,
Yeah.
sorry, and then Sam comes from the ceiling, and I liked seeing that like teamwork there, as cheesy
Yeah.
as it sounds, but it like you can tell Blake deep down cares, but yeah, on the surface he's just like very in it for himself. But I liked seeing like all of them together trying to get out of there. That was cool to see, in my opinion.
It was very fun. It was fun. It was definitely something leading up to so much more. Setting this episode set up a lot of things going into the end as we head towards the finale of the season, which of
Yeah.
course due to COVID may be postponed in a way where we don't get the true last episode, but we will get a storyline. Another storyline that we do see is, of course, Alexis having her own show and Joyce Doyle suing her because she gave the advice to get in your car and drive in the path of life. And Joyce apparently got in her car and crashed in her car. And
How
sued.
could that even be like a real thing you sue someone over? Like
People have
Alexis,
frivolous lawsuits all the time.
I know, but that's what as soon as I heard that, I was like, there's no way this woman is gonna win this case from someone on a radio show and a podcast saying that. Trust me, I've been through it. Not a lawsuit, but like me saying something loosely on radio to someone doesn't make any sense, you know? But obviously we see it play out and there's a plot twist. What did you think about that?
That's the thing. I felt like it was a scam from the beginning, and
Yeah.
it did, however, turn around for me when Alexis accidentally kicked Joyce, and it seemed like, uh-oh, another lawsuit's on the horizon, and yet you realize it was the clues, mother and daughter working together. Fallon and Alexis have been building the stronger bond this entire season. Fallon speaking her truth. You haven't been here for 11 years. It's hard for me to take advice from you. But you can see Fallon's trying and Alexis is trying. Alexis, of course,
Yeah.
purpose is a huge deal for her. That's a huge thing. What I don't like about this is that it totally dropped and neglected the Colby storyline. So Alexis
Right.
is very much a big part of the Colby storyline and is vehemently there. So at least give us some Colby reaction, especially since we were set up with a possible romance or inter-romance with Colby from last week, which we saw nothing of the kind play out this week.
Mhm.
We should also note that Alexis is trying to make amends for her past behavior herself. If I couldn't be a mother to Fallon and my own children, I'll be a mother to the world. So seeing that. Now, finding out that Joyce is connected to Evan, and that Evan, who came back and it's a knight in shining armor at the end, like, oh, in the beginning of the episode was like, I could make this happen. We should settle for $2 million, which I thought was utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
Concept is Evan
crazy.
wants negative attention is not attention, Evan. And Evan wants to get in there. Evan is a psycho. Evan is the reason why guys have a bad name. That Evan's
I thought as soon as I saw him, I was like, "There's gonna be something bad that's happening." He just looks crazy like literally from the get go. He looks so crazy. Obviously, we found that out. I am scared to see. We'll get into that in predictions, but I'm scared to see what happens next with him trying to be the hero that he wants to be for Fallon. Um, I thought he was gonna try and help Fallon. I didn't expect the plot twist with Joyce and them going to the house. And I thought it would get worse when they kicked her or when Alexis kicked her by accident. So hopefully Evan needs to go away. I really don't like this plot twist. What do you think about it?
I think when it comes to the concept of Evan as a bad guy, it's interesting. But now that we have Adam back, I don't know if we need Evan. Evan would have made a lot more sense to me when we needed a bad guy, and everyone all of a sudden was good, except for having epiphanal dilemmas and moral dilemmas. Now, Evan
Yeah.
being back, I'm gonna see. I think something much more is gonna play with that. They didn't bring Evan back for no reason. I also think that Evan's going to be a wrench in Fallon, and Fallon has been doing so well lately. Fallon has
I
been on the
know.
narrow, and she's
Yeah.
been just doing so well. So Fallon's considerably the most likable character on the show every single week. She's consistently just likable. Just her attitude, her appeal, her charisma is so strong. I
Hmm.
hate for there to be any negative influence on Fallon and who she is. She's come a long way.
Yeah, you're right. I would hate especially for her and Liam to break up because I'm like shipping for that so
I
badly.
mean, yeah,
Obviously,
because they are such a good team, more than
yeah.
any other couple on the show. Let's go through
Hmm.
the couples. Blake and Cristal, thoughts?
Okay, well, obviously we know Crystal's not happy. She feels guilty, but they might rekindle it a bit because maybe Blake will tell her about his affair and she'll be like, "Oh, well, I had an affair too," and that might get some honesty between them. I don't know if they'll be together again, but it could be another affair. Maybe we'll see in another season
So
or the
basically, anything
finale.
can happen from this. Yes, I understand how
Yeah,
you
because they both are in the
when you
wrong.
predict things. I know how it's like every single possibility is a prediction. Yes,
Oh my
what
gosh.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
but
is the
yeah.
concept of Blake and Crystal. Crystal uh, needs a redemption. I think that
Mhm.
Blake will be unable to
I
forgive
okay,
Crystal,
well, I don't
but
think she's gonna end
I
up with
don't like
Father
them anymore.
Collins.
I don't like them anymore. I don't like Blake and Crystal.
Yeah,
I'm
me
starting to
either.
fall out of like with Crystal. So Crystal
Yeah.
is not in my
Yeah,
repertoire.
I think
Kirby and Adam.
I like it, but now he's turning a little bit evil again. So, but Kirby's kind of being the same way. So I think they're gonna last for a little bit because I feel like they're a good team in terms of trying to make up plans and like stuff. And I think they're kind of like she's getting a little bit of his like evil side in her, if you know what I mean, because we saw that in the last couple episodes.
I think
She,
Kirby already had an evil side. I think Kirby is
no, but
influencing
now
Adam.
it's like
He
even
actually mocks him
more.
and says, "Oh, is this the end of Saint Adam?" And she's happy for it. And you see her in her
Yeah, no, no, no.
seductive
Yeah, now
stitches
she's like
on
fully
Adam's
turned into him.
bare chest and his back as he's turning evil again into evil Adam as he
Yeah,
accepts the position with Blake only to get back at him. So we'll see how that plays out.
yeah.
What about Kirby and Colhane? Do you think there's sparks there?
I definitely think there's sparks, especially because they did that whole like Vanessa, Dominique plan together, like sort of sabotaging them, and they both know that they're bad people. So I could see them hooking up again, and it might be something that might be dramatic. And I feel like there's something that's gonna happen in terms of Colhane, Kirby, and Adam. Like I feel like there's gonna be some drama there and jealousy. Do you think so?
My thing is that I hope not. I don't want Adam and Kirby to be together and then Colhane and there be an actual triangle. It's just not appealing. I like Adam. I like just
Yeah.
shipping. I don't like all this infidelity. But then again, then I shouldn't watch Dynasty. So we'll see how that plays.
I feel
What
like it
about
might be the next drama.
Colhane and Vanessa?
And Vanessa, I don't like it at all. I think, she's like a mini me of her mom, and her mom's always going to be like in her ear. I know she fired her mom, whatever, but I just feel like there's too much that's happened, and Culhane won't be able to get over it. Like, he's always going to be like, I don't trust you. So
Well,
it's just like resentment, like from the
well,
start.
Vanessa already, for whatever you want to say about Vanessa, she was involved in this latest plot against Culhane by using him. Vanessa is very much a spoiled brat.
Hmm.
She doesn't have loyalty within her. The way she fired her mother, actually Dominique, or stepmother, or whoever Dominique is to her, the way she fired her again. By the way, this isn't the first time. This is the 10th time. She's wishy-washy. She just wants what she wants, and if she doesn't get it, then it's not. They haven't done enough with for me to make her a good person or a bad person.
Yeah.
It seems like she's just not any one thing enough for me to like her. I'm
She isn't
over
it. Yeah. Like you
and it makes me
said,
think Culhane can do so much better.
yeah, like you said last episode, you're like, she just kind of like there, and she doesn't really have much of a personality to make us all love her or hate her. She has great style. I know you hate her style, but I think they need Monica back. I think Cole Hain needs to be with someone who actually won't screw him
Sure.
over and doesn't have Dominique like on their shoulder. I just feel like Vanessa, she's kind of like a filler character in my opinion. Like,
And the
she's just
way
kind of
that
there.
Dominique, and of course the way Dominique got played with the by Culhane with the Chase Kartoff, it shows you once again true character was shown in this episode. Dominique gets a better offer, all of a sudden becomes super demanding, loses what she has, and then
Yeah.
realizes that the new offer was actually a fake, elaborate revenge played by Culhane with the help of Kirby.
Good for Cole Hain and Kirby, honestly. I mean, more for Cole Hain. I didn't expect that to happen. Like, I thought all those meetings were real. Obviously, we see um that company, and I forget his name right now. It was the guy who pretended to be like interested in the reality show, and we just like see that and we're like, hey, like
Chase
Vanessa.
Kartoff.
Yeah, Chase Crouch.
Mm.
Sorry. And yeah, so I'm happy that happened though, because Dominique is to me one of my least favorite characters, and she had it coming, honestly.
She did, and it shows her true character. And much like how Blake, she's put in a position, she's definitely a Carrington. As far as if Blake is the blueprint, then she's a Carrington as well. She only tends to care about herself. Let's
Yeah.
play our favorite segment game. Wow, what's the best episode of this episode? I mean, the best outfit of this episode.
Okay, so obviously, like Danny Trejo's outfit, he got the hat, he got the chain, he has a machete. That was my number one, obviously, because I love him. And second was Vanessa's outfit towards the end when she actually got like exposed and screwed over by Culhane. She walks in with that white suit, like kind of like a blazer dress, gold chain, gold belt, white heels. That looked
That's the
like,
outfit. Yeah.
I love that outfit. I'm really a fan of like white, like outfits like that in gold. So that was my favorite.
I really like Cristal's outfit at the beginning of the episode. It was amazing. I also liked Sammy's outfit when he was being tough. He had the leather jacket and the shirt and
Yeah.
the just enough 5 o'clock shadow. It was great.
And
I
he's like
love Sammy
climbing through
Dangerous.
the
Exactly. I
vents and
love
stuff.
saying
I love his
Dangerous
outfit. Yeah.
Sammy. Let's jump
It
into predictions. Do you have any predictions?
Okay, well, we know Cristal has left Blake, so maybe she'll end up with Father Collins. I'm just kidding. I think she's gonna be alone for a little bit. Maybe she won't be featured anymore on the show because she's taking some time to herself. I think that um, Alexis is gonna still do her show. This is gonna be over with the kind of lawsuit, but Evan will come back around and he's gonna do something crazy, don't you
Hmm.
think? Like he's like, him, he's like
Yes,
crazy.
that is what they hinted at specifically
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
show.
So he's not done, obviously.
Hmm.
So he's
We'll
gonna get
see.
something else to happen. We don't really know what might happen. Joyce might come back or they get someone else. Um Colhane will get more of like revenge, and he might do something else. Dominique will be kind of screwed. Same with Vanessa, but I feel like he has a soft spot for them. So we'll see about that. Blake and Adam. Blake, well, he'll go on about his like life, I think, and then Adam obviously wants revenge. So he's gonna like think of some weird plan or something to screw him over. So we'll get into that, or we'll get to see that, which I don't know. I'm scared to see. I don't trust Adam. You know me. That's not my favorite character. That's your favorite character. So what are your predictions
Well,
on
my
him?
predictions are you're a Carrington, so you probably know all that's going to happen. I can't disagree with that, but I can say if you want to be found, where can people find you? Maddie Pox.
I'm on Instagram at Maddie Pox.
I appreciate that. And of course, I appreciate all of you. Find me at I am Tehran all across the board. That's IAMTEHRAN. And of course, find me hosting and paneling on a slew of other AfterBuzz after shows because all of your favorite TV shows are my favorite TV shows too. Until next week, as we talk more Dynasty. Cheat on your wife.
Thanks, guys.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.